Today we're going to take a look at the reaction that the revolution got outside of France so that we can understand how exactly the reign of terror got triggered. So, as the revolution continued in France, other countries got extremely nervous about it. Uh, you have to remember that Europe at this time was ruled all over the place by monarchies. And seeing a bunch of peasants and bourgeoisie take control of the country, uh, basically uh, imprison the king, force them to do what they wanted as opposed to what the monarchs felt was their God given right, literally, that was a scary thing for them. That was something that was completely new, and a lot of monarchs were rightfully afraid that it would spread to other countries and inspire similar actions. Not rightly in that um, they should be able to retain all of those privileges, but rightly in that it was a very real possibility that that could happen. They were afraid that revolution would catch on like a wildfire. While all of this was happening too, a lot of French nobility were deciding, I'm not staying in France anymore. So they emigrated to other countries, Austria, Prussia, Spain, anywhere where they had a connection to try and get out of the country. And they organized into groups, or at least some of them organized into groups known as emigre armies. And their goal was to restore the monarchy, stop the revolution, put everything back to the way it was. They were counter revolutionaries. And of course, some people in France did know about this, and they knew that the nobility were leaving, and they were rightfully afraid, again, because very real possibility, that these emigres who had left the country were going to try and come back with literal armies, which is exactly what happened. So other countries were threatened by France's revolutions, so they went to war with France to try and restore the monarchy. And this was actually one of the things that ended up getting Louis XVI head chopped off. Not because they thought that Louis was at fault for these other countries declaring war, but because um, parts of the revolutionary leadership felt that Louis had committed literal crimes against the country that were worthy of capital punishment, and that by executing him, there was no going back. There was no way for the counter revolutionaries to restore the monarchy if the monarch is dead.